Okay. Yep. Hey. It's working as intended. Finally. Rather shocking how often it does not do that. Okay. Should have the gain on the mic up high enough that it's not cutting me off. Hopefully. Let's see. Alright. Let's get some work done. I got quite a bit to work on, so we've got 3, 6, 9 videos to do. I also need to figure out what I'm gonna do with the last week in December, because there's 5 weeks this month and I have enough videos for 4, so it's gonna be an interesting month. My first 5-week month since I started doing this. As weird as this may end up sounding, I may end up making this a bit more permanent a thing than I originally intended, for 2 reasons. One, I genuinely do enjoy making these videos, and 2, I think the dog wants to get in my room. Just a sec. I'll finish my thought in a minute. Oh. Thank you. Okay. As I was saying, the second reason is... Ooh. It's just been so much easier on my schedule to do this. I'm not constantly worried about staying up to date. I'm not constantly checking a dozen plus Twitch channels for clips and trying to watch a million streams to try to keep up, to find clips to edit, and panicking about this, that, or the other. I have a schedule. I have it mapped out, easily planned out. Does it get a lot of views? No. But it also means I don't have to worry about getting a lot of views. I don't have to feel as stressed or depressed or whatever about that, because these videos have never really gotten a crazy amount of views. But that's fine. So I can just focus on other stuff and still have this. And I kind of like that, honestly. Forgot to... No, I didn't. Since it is a 5-week month, I think for week 5 I will actually look for some VTuber clips to edit, and then I'll upload those on the 5th week. It shouldn't be too big of a deal, right? I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna be busy next weekend, and the weekend after that is Christmas. So... definitely not gonna be doing much streaming, but hey. We got a family thing next week, and then it's Christmas the week after that, so obviously it's gonna be more family. That's just how it goes. I forgot to grab... not you. You. I've really got to look into getting a new mic. For one, I'm pretty sure Nemo will not be happy with me if he knew I was still using a Blue Yeti. That aside, I need to get a mic that comes with the arm, so that it won't be in front of my hands when I'm trying to edit. It's really awkward trying to do editing or gaming when I have to reach around a microphone. Oh, my nose is not happy with me today. I think my dog allergies are hitting me a little heavier than usual today. It happens sometimes. But such is the price you pay when you're allergic to animals and you have animals. Right? Alright. Well. I've also been using this opportunity with the new schedule to, on top of, you know, job hunting and whatnot, to kind of get back into writing. Because, believe it or not, I used to do a lot of writing. I kid you not, I have a drawer in my closet shelf thing that is full of notebooks and scattered papers. I have an old binder that's broken that I need to replace with other stuff. I need to digitize a lot of my stuff because the pen and pencil stuff is not doing so well in its older age. I started heavily writing around 2011. And I've been getting back into it a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. Will I ever actually publish a story? Well, I don't know. I hope I will someday, maybe. But, you know. I totally forgot about you. Okay, that was the only one I forgot. We're good. I probably should publish one of my stories, or at least try to finish it to the point of publishing before too long, because I feel like I'm gonna hit a point where it might not be too relevant. I don't know. I try not to worry about it too much. My nose is really bugging me. I am constantly on the verge of sneezing, and it is very annoying. I'm gonna try blowing my nose. Okay, that helped a little bit. That should buy me a few minutes. Which game is this from? Majora's Mask. I clearly did not play enough Majora's Mask because I do not remember this song at all. Not even remotely. Huh. Oh, I had a dog hair. Ended up getting a dog hair messing with me after I blew my nose. That explains a lot. All right. I'm mostly going to be worrying about getting this structural stuff done. If we get all of the structural stuff finished on all 9 clips without taking too long on stream, then we'll move into some of the audio editing. Or, well, I guess we could work on figuring out the chapters or something. Nah, I should do audio editing first to make sure of anything that may end up shortening any of the clips. Man, there's a lot of Majora's Mask music that I didn't know existed. Good grief. I clearly need to play more Majora's Mask. I'm actually gonna turn the music down a little bit. I hope people don't mind. I can turn it up for chat if that's better. Filters. We'll give it a few decibel boost in gain for you guys. There we go. I can turn it up more if need be. You know, I've thought about the idea, I've floated it around in my head, that if I get fast enough at doing these, I might try doing very simple subtitles for them. Since during the process of making these, I do try to change these. Why are they not visible? Oh, there they are. I didn't realize I was that zoomed in. Changing these to be the colors that match the specific VTubers. So if I've already got that going, it wouldn't be anything too crazy. It would be very rudimentary. Keep it very small. Make it so the subtitles kind of just stay really small and only cover about this very bottom section. I've floated the idea. I have no idea if I'll end up doing it. Probably not, just because of how time-consuming it would end up being for things that I might not think of. For example, one thing that ended up coming to mind while thinking about it was like, well, what if it's a clip with multiple people speaking? What do I do then? And this month would be a prime example of that, because there are quite a few collab clips in some of these. So, you know. Come on. Oh, I just realized I didn't even add music to any of them this time around for the first three. I totally spaced on that. That's probably fine. Honestly, maybe including music might be a bit too distracting. I don't know, I try to for moments where it's a bit too quiet. I can do it for the other 9. It's fine. Whatever. It was a weird... This one was a weird one because the first... the final day of the month was Sunday. So I had to spend all day Monday editing the first 3 to be ready and uploaded. Uploaded, scheduled, and ready to go before Tuesday. Which was a bit of a crazy hassle in and of itself. So, I guess it's not too bad that I forgot that. It's better than forgetting important stuff, you know? I remembered the main stuff. Now, should I go with just the orange? Or should I try to mess around with the red as well? So, for example, I think the orange should be fine. Yeah, I think the orange should be fine. Forgot to select both when I did this. That's okay, we'll just copy and paste. There we go. It was 8 was the short one. I thought it was 9. Okay. We've got the darker color here. Then we'll grab the snowy bluish white here. Oh, it's from Skyward Sword. Oh, I think why I don't recognize a lot of this music is because they're remix songs to make them more suited for winter. Maybe that's why I'm having a hard time recognizing them. All right. Should I leave the number in? I just realized I did that wrong. That was flip 10. We'll fix it later. This doesn't sound like a Legend of Zelda song to me. It sounds more like a nursery rhyme, or yeah, a nursery rhyme kind of thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong. I don't know. Oh no, this one's a long one. It actually does seem to fit across the screen. It's just a very long title. Is she drawing a character from the Has Been Hotel thing? I've never watched it. I have zero interest in watching it, so I know nothing of. I don't really know a whole lot about it. I know it's fairly popular. I have zero interest in it whatsoever. If anything, I probably have negative interest in it, given its choice in theme and setting and whatnot. Hey, Chloe, how's it going? Concur with the negative interest. I'm a bit, I don't know, the concept of it concerns me. There have been a lot of, yeah, I'm doing all right. Oh, cool, the chat box is working. That makes me so happy. I have the biggest problems with getting chat boxes to work. Anywho, there've just been a lot. There's been a bit of a theme, I feel like, in the past few years that's gotten really, really old, and I'm just sick of it, where a lot of shows will just crap on either religion in general or specifically Christianity. And it's just getting really old. It feels lazy. It's just a stupid trope, and Has Been Hotel is one of those shows where it's like, okay, how are they not gonna do that? Like, it's a big thing in anime where it's just like, oh, the church is evil. Shocker. What do you know? You know? I don't know if anybody else has noticed that. It's really obnoxious. Like, look, I get it. You don't care for religion. That's perfectly fine. But yes, it feels lazy. It has become a stupid cliche trope. It used to be like a kind of twist on like vampire stories. Be like, oh, it actually turns out that the vampires aren't the monsters, the monster hunters in the church are. And it was like, oh, okay. I think it's been a long time since I watched it, but I think Trinity Blood is kind of like that. Maybe, I don't remember anymore. But then it kind of just became way more common and started becoming infinitely more common in Japanese media with the rise of the slop storyline of you're in a world where everyone's given an ability, like a skill or something. When they turn like 12 or 15 or whatever, they go to the church and they figure out what their skill is, and it turns out to be something that nobody likes, and they get banished or whatever. And in a lot of those stories, it's like, oh yeah, the church is totally corrupt, evil, and it's like, okay, yeah, I think that's where a lot of it really started popping off in Japanese media. Western media, it's just kind of been there for a long time. We just didn't it just wasn't as noticeable because once upon a time surrounding that was some genuine storytelling. Now you get stuff like Good Omens, which is just, it's so crap. And I think there was the Preacher show is another one. That one is pretty darn blatant in that it just really hates religion. And it's just gotten to the point where it's not fun at all. Basically, it's kind of like, imagine if everybody took Metal Gear's way of doing storytelling and started implementing it in everything. After a while, it would just get really annoying. Probably too long of a tangent for the topic, but I get a little... It's like when someone finds out you like apples, everything from then on is apples. Yes! And what makes it worse is that, to keep with your Apple analogy, it's not that they just give you Apple stuff. they give you the worst Apple stuff. Like, they give you some of the worst tasting apples. They give you some of the corniest, crappiest Apple themed items. At first it started, I was like, oh, this is, yeah, I like apples, so this is fun, getting free apples. Or it's like, oh, this is a fun gift, like you get socks or something with apples on. I was like, oh, that's funny, haha. And then after a while I was like, okay, you can stop. It has been 10 years. At some point somebody's going to buy me an Apple house. And that's kind of what it's like. I do blame largely the millennial generation for the crap storytelling. Yes, I am making fun of my own generation. There is a solid reason why a lot of people are thinking that they might want to turn to AI for certain things. And one of those reasons is millennials. Because the millennial generation comes into a lot of entertainment media thinking that they are the most clever, brilliant, whatever writers, creators to ever exist, because they grew up in an era of incredible creation. But they suck. Horrifically. For the most part. So I think that's part of it, because, you know, after a while it's when it stops being tasteful is because it's just garbage. So if writers out there want to follow a specific theme, even if certain story threads or character tropes or whatnot are overplayed, if they're done well, people don't care. It's the fact that it's not done well. Again, I go off on these tangents a lot because I'm very much into that creative type field. I've done bits and pieces of creative writing since 2011. I wouldn't say I'm phenomenal at it, but I'm at least... That was loud. I'm at least experienced enough with the idea and the process that I can at least see when crap is worse than what I can do. I can recognize when something is so bad that but anyway. You know, I actually did try going back to my earlier tangent I was talking about with doing a little bit of... I've been doing a little bit of writing again recently. I wanted to see, since I during my final couple semesters in college, I had to get an account with ChatGPT for one of the classes because the professor ran some of the lesson stuff through it in a way that was actually really well done. It was a good use of AI. But because I already had the account, I just went, what? I wonder what writing quality really is with this kind of AI. So I ran a couple experiments with it, and I actually discovered that there's a pretty easy way to recognize writing as AI if it is lazy. Because AI has these tendencies for a very particular type of writing style. And if the person behind the AI doesn't take the time to edit the writing that AI generates, you'll be able to see that writing style. what that writing style is. All right, we've finished the general setup for these three, so let's open up some of the next batch. That writing style is that the AI will write parts of the story in such a way where when you read it or listen to it, it sounds more like the AI is less telling a story and more confirming to the author certain aspects of the story. So say for example you wanted a darker toned story. The AI will write certain things in such a way where it is telling you, hey, it's basically telling the author, okay, this was written in such a way that it fits the darker tone you asked for. I made sure to follow your instructions, boss, and it will do that. A lot. It will also write things in such a way where it will often feel procedural. Like, for example, if there is something that could be turned into a list in a formal document, it will write it as a list. So for example, if you were writing a story where your character was going around completing a to-do list, they had a list of chores they needed to do, right? Or they were quickly explaining their usual day-to-day, like what they do in the mornings, what they do in the afternoons and evenings, that kind of stuff. The AI will write that section as an actual list. And I'm not kidding, it will actually have like morning, blah 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 blah, afternoon, blah blah blah. It'll do that. And that will actually be how it writes the story. Another example that I note, to go back to like the type of writing where it confirms what you're looking for, like it's like confirming to the author, to the creator, that it's writing it in the way they wanted. So for example, say a character is having a conversation with another character and the first character says something in a particular way. The AI will write it like this. So if they're like, say they're trying to be it's like a parent correcting a child. It will write it like not hostile, not, I'll just keep it simple, not mean, just constructive, disappointed, whatever word you want to put in there. It will write this kind of stuff a lot for so many different things. So if you see this kind of pattern, not just, or just not AI, you're pretty darn guaranteed it's AI. It's a very fascinating thing I ran into. AI writing style feels like checking boxes, then using a nuanced or idiosyncratic writing. Yes, idiosyncratic. Yeah, it's AI is well, it's a code. It's not actual artificial intelligence. It is a program. It is a binary code that is complex enough to simulate some level of intelligence. So it can't actually think and perform in a complex way. Oh, also another incredible way to tell if it's AI is mispronouncing names and never knowing what gender somebody is. AI will never know the gender of characters. Okay, I say never. It will tend to forget. Let's put it that way. If you have a character that's a guy with long hair, the AI will be confused as crap. It will not know what's going on. It's it can be pretty funny. But I don't know. It was an interesting experiment for the time. Yeah, well, here's the way I view it. It will make the lazy people worse, and the actual knowledgeable, talented people stand out. Because the lazy people will always be lazy. They always have been, always will be. It's why you see so much, it's why we call slop. Currently, the popular thing in anime is the isekai slop. You just get a lot of isekai stories or heroes party stories, stories that follow the same trends and popular things and are sometimes like one-to-one with each other. It's because the ones who made those are lazy. Either that or they were forced to do it by lazy producers, editors, whatever. I don't know. There's a level of corporatism to writing in Japan that's a bit unfamiliar to me. But the way I view AI is that it is ultimately a tool. It is a very powerful and very I did not delete. There we go. Is a very powerful and very versatile tool, but a tool all the same. There are people who will use all kinds of tools to cut corners. Game developers are a phenomenal example of this. So back in the day when video games were starting out, they were developed by people who knew coding, because you had to code every last bit of the games. But then those people created game engines and other such tools. So the next developers that came in didn't have to do quite as much heavy lifting because of the people who came before created these really handy tools. And then years down the line, you come to a great example, Bethesda, who are using the same game engine, which is outdated and buggy as crap, but refuse to stop using it because I swear if they ever stopped using it, they wouldn't be able to make another game. Because their current development team doesn't seem to be all that qualified. So tools come out all the time to help improve things and make headache processes easier, and that's pretty much why AI exists. AI exists because people who do programming for a living got sick and tired of doing the same bullcrap in programming, which I totally get. I hate programming. It is just so tedious. So they created a tool that will help them skip a lot of the headache steps of the programming process. But now you have people that are using it to be lazy pieces of crap. And that's just how it goes. But I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. At least in terms of writing, it's not as concerning as stuff like deep fakes and stuff. It doesn't have the same potential repercussions. I don't know. AI is a very tricky topic. It can get very messy very quickly. I try not to delve too much into it beyond my ability of comprehension. I know where my skill level is. I try not to go beyond it too much. But I don't know. Then again, whether people like it or not, whether people think it's good or bad or whatever, it's not going anywhere. Ever. So, better to get used to it and try to find ways to work around some of the bad rather than futile, futile efforts of trying to stop it from existing. Yeah, it could definitely be an entirely different world we're living in. I have firsthand experience with this. I started college in 2017 for web design. 2020 hit. And no, it has nothing to do with COVID. It has everything to do with Elon Musk buying Twitter, firing 80% of the staff, and then proving that they can still run it with only 20% of the staff that they had before he came in. And then all the other tech companies going, oh, we're overhiring like crazy. Also, new advancements in different coding languages, different advancements in AI and whatnot. Through my college experience, I watched the world change so much. I had to retake classes multiple times. I had to take entirely new classes multiple times. My degree path changed drastically until it reached the point where my degree no longer existed. Like, the world went crazy in the past 5 years, and it's only going to get crazier. So because the last 5 years, AI has mostly been affecting two career types. Artists, well, actually three. Artists, editors for like video editing, and coding are like usually the main three. I hesitate to say stuff like writing documents and stuff, because as we talked about earlier, AI has some tendencies that make it pretty obvious to tell when an AI wrote something. It's getting better at it with formal documents, not so much with creative writing. But yeah, in the next 5 years, next 10 years, it's going to expand well beyond the entertainment industry and the coding tech world and whatnot. It's gonna be an interesting world. Whether or not it's good interesting or bad interesting, we'll have to wait and see. I am not interested in art. It seems like an... No, I'm kidding. Hey, how's it going? Oh, man. I will say there is one... Well, I guess it won't last forever, but there is one upside to the AI problem, is that the lazy people aren't going to be able to create anything mind-blowing yet. Because most AI programs are designed in a way where you need to have a pretty deep wallet to be able to make the good stuff. Yes, a lot of bots do come in and say stuff like that, though they usually include links or other stuff. to go back to the creative writing topic, since that's somewhat relevant to me. What in the world? Oh, that got moved over. There we go. I am working on... So every month, I do top 10 clip compilations, which may end up being something I can't keep doing if Twitch keeps going down its self-destruct route, because no other platform offers this same kind of system. Anyway, every month I will go and I will look at different VTuber channels, and I will look at their top 10 most watched clips for the past month and compile them into a video. And that is what I am working on. Whoops. I used to do a lot more VTuber clips, but well, since I'm not in college and I'm currently looking for a full-time job, yeah, good luck to me. I have switched from to just doing these mostly, since it's a lot easier on my schedule and opens up a bit more time for me to focus on life stuff. Gives highlights to smaller streamers, and because I do some larger streamers as well. So here's the way I currently have it set up. So I try to go for... So I do Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays are the uploads. I usually try to have at least a couple larger streamers mixed in there every now and then. But it is kind of random, because it's literally... I say kind of, it is mostly random. I literally have a wheel that I spin. Now, I don't always go off of the wheel. Like, for example, Nitty. I chose to do Nitty because she just debuted, like, last month. So, this was not random. This was on purpose. But for the most part, it's all random. I literally just have a website. It's a website you make your own wheel. Why did my computer just tell me it deleted a virus? When I haven't done anything that would... What in the world? Okay. That's concerning. Anyway, there's a website one of those websites you just make a little random picker wheel. And I've input a bunch of VTuber names on there, and then I'll spin the wheel, check the channel, see if they have enough clips. And if they do, great. They go on the list. You weren't supposed to see that. Oh dear. But yeah, that is what we are currently working on. I'm not really as big into VTubers as I used to be. Again, since I don't really do a lot of VTuber clip stuff as like I used to, since trying to use that time for figuring out life stuff. So I don't watch as many live streams and whatnot as I used to, but most of the VTubers that I watch or C is largely because of Vivi. This Vivi. She is like the reason why I know pretty much any of these other VTubers in any way, shape, or form. So. Okay. Yeah, I kind of like VTubers in that way, where VTubers are a bit more friendly with each other, I feel like, because I don't know, I'm probably wrong. It's not like I watch a lot of IRL, like, the VTuber term is flesh tubers, but I don't watch a lot of streamers to begin with, but I feel like VTubers kind of have their, like, sense of community. They like to collab with each other a lot. And VTubers seem to really enjoy shouting out other VTubers. So you kind of end up forming this circle of people you've been introduced to through other people. And okay. I did one of these for Pippa not that long ago, but I don't know if I have. I forgot that I started making these. I never finished. I feel really dumb. It would make this process a whole lot easier if I actually made more of these darn things. Do you think that we should keep this one? My personal preference would be probably not, because I hate yellow. Yellow and bright orange are just very annoying to me, but that's just because of how my eyes work. I know I'm biased. This one I might want to actually genuinely change to make this color darker. I need... Here we go. This one has more color highlight options. Okay, let's. I think this should work. Yeah, I like the darker better. I work that out later. Oh, this is a very Christmassy Zelda song. It's the Lost Woods with like a Christmas choir in the background and jingle bells. What the crap? I'm not really sure what to go with on this one. Okay, come on. Am I gonna get DMCA for this one? Oh, do they DMCA Christmas music? I can never tell. You know what? I don't care. I'm a small streamer. I don't give a fetch. Somehow I don't think Twitch really cares that much either. I don't think I'm big enough for them to worry about. Maybe I should just leave this white. Yeah, we'll go with that. That's good enough. I say good enough. It should be fine. All right. Well, is there a clip where we got more of the model to work with? That's a completely different model. Actually, just the blue might look better. I know there's blue on the bow tie hairpin thing. I think my biases are coming out again because I really like the bottom one, but I know that blue works really well with my eyes. It's less painful to look at. But I don't know. I don't think it stands out enough, is the problem with it. Then again, I don't know how much I want it to stand out and how much I want it to fade into the background. So I don't want it distracting too much from the clip itself. Yeah, that's definitely no. I'm probably overthinking it a lot. But oh well. That's part of the creative process, right? Alright. You're getting way too much into just Christmas music with a bit of Legend of Zelda mixed in. Okay, we're skipping that section. One video, it was a funny little novelty. Or one song, it was a funny novelty. 2 or 3, okay, now it's annoying. I think I ended up getting so distracted by one of our conversations that I ended up doing all of this when I wasn't supposed to yet. Ah, well, it happens. I do it to myself all the time anyway, so it's no big deal. Actually, I need that first one. We'll start with making the let's see. I think I definitely want this green. Now it's more a question of if I want to just leave it like this. While I'm on the topic, this one is getting on my nerves. Actually, I'm pretty okay with this one. Alright. Back to the topic at hand. Do we want to add another color with the green or just leave the green and white? That is the question. Personally, I think it's fine just leaving the white. So that's what we'll do. What the? Okay, it didn't... wasn't that long. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see. Not really sure what Nitya's full color scheme really is. The chat box definitely seems to focus a bit more on the darker green. I say green, it could easily be brown for all I know. It does feel a little weird not going with something that matches much brighter colors in most of her design. I'm not entirely sure. This one is based more on what the primary colors of the model are. This one I feel does do a pretty good job at blending in, especially since it fits well with the chat box. I'm just not entirely sure. which one I want to go with. Getting the right colors is always the hardest part for me. Both because I'm indecisive and crap, and because I'm horrifically colorblind. So a lot of my color combinations could be the worst ever, and I wouldn't really know. I never really thought about it before, but what if I just tried... No, that's reversed. Right, that's why I don't do it that way, because the black tends to not be visible. Try not to focus on it for too long. I've got 3 more of these to do. Nah, I've just been working out the colors for the different text things. Oh. Been trying to figure out which color combinations I like better. It's a tricky part of the process because my color blindness is a bit of a hurdle. Makes it a little tricky. Like, I was just mostly just saying that I could be creating the worst color combinations in a lot of these, and I wouldn't know it because I'm colorblind. So what seems to work with my eyes could be horrendous to other people. I just don't know. Ah, makes sense. Yeah, color blindness is a rather interesting little malady thing. It's Especially since it's... I don't think that's really... I don't know if there's ever really a case. Well, I guess if you're the... like the worst case colorblind of just seeing black and white, then... well, there you go. There you could have more than one person like that, but I feel like for the most part, it's very individual. Everyone's got their own unique color blindness among the colorblind people. Okay. What in the... what song is this? I think it's a Zelda game I haven't played before. 'Cause I don't even recognize the acronym. Speaking of Legend of Zelda, I've been very upset lately because I am not able to play the newest Hyrule Warriors game because it is a Switch 2 only, and you can't play Switch 2 games on the regular Switch because Nintendo claims that the hardware is just not compatible. It's like, the Switch 2 is just too advanced. You can't possibly play the Switch 2 games on the Switch 1. Like, the crap you mean, you barely changed it. As far as performance go, the Switch 2 and the Switch 1 are not that different. If I can play Xbox 360 games on the Xbox Series S, I think I should be able to play Switch 2 on Switch 1. Just saying. Yeah, it's $70. All Nintendo games are $70 now. And that's basically like a permanent price tag because Nintendo games never go on sale. Nintendo has fully fallen to the horrific, corrupt business bureaucracy bullcrap. It's sad to see. I mean, yeah. Nintendo was one of those those companies where it's like, look, even if they do something dumb, we forgive them because they make great games. They don't really make great games anymore. They have some good... they do have some good ones, but for the most part, it's kind of just like... anywhere from average to mediocre. I think the newest Pokemon game was a big slap in the face. Like, yeah, the days of Nintendo that you remember are long gone. Holy crap. I have never played a Pokemon game. Now I never want to play a Pokemon game. If that new game is what the bar is for Pokemon now, I'm good with playing Pal World, thanks. I think Pal World is fun. I don't know if Legend of Zelda has fully fallen down that path of mediocrity yet. I still have trouble with the idea of eating your pals. I've never done it because it's kind of not really worth doing. So I've never delved into the butchering pathway before. There's really no need to, so I just don't bother with it. It's more work than it's worth. All you really need is you build a couple berry plantations and a couple wheat farms, and then you just get enough pals to work on those, and then you can make a cooking pot or a campfire, and you make the jam sandwiches out of that, and you're basically good to go. You'll have hundreds of those for the rest of the game, and you're good. You're good. Now, if you're a min-maxer and you worry about the status effects or stat boosts that your food is giving you rather than just not being hungry, then you might worry a bit more about other things, but I don't think worrying about combat stats and whatnot really matters in Pal World, because the main strategy for combat in that game is be as far away from the fight as possible, shoot the enemy with a gun or a bow, and let your pal do all the fighting. If you are involved in close quarter combat, you are going to die. Especially if you dare there are some very dangerous areas in Pal World. It's one of the downsides of open world games like that is there are definitely places where you should not go. Because the enemies you will run into are so much higher level than you that you will die in one hit. I do think it's really sad that the idea of having pals that you can ride on them and they'll have different kinds of guns and stuff, like the giant electric dude that's on all of the promotional stuff with the minigun. It's a really cool idea. It's just all of those pals are basically worthless to go out with. Because none of those pals are any good in combat. And they're absolutely not useful in terms of exploration. Because there are certain things you want when you're going out and exploring. There's the pals that fly. There's the pals that swim. There's one pal that's a mimic. It's a treasure chest dude. And if you level up his special ability, you do not need keys to unlock certain treasure chests. That becomes a very highly valuable pal to carry around if you have the skill leveled up. There are certain pals that will have other effects if you bring them around. There's one that will go out and collect stuff for you, so you don't have to go pick up stuff. It will go pick it up for you. Without even taking up a slot, like just having the pal in your pocket and having the saddle, it will summon a little copy of that pal that will go pick up stuff while your main pal for riding or combat is with you. So there's a lot of different options out there, and a lot of the pals that their saddles give them guns are no good for any of those options. So it's a fun idea, just not well utilized. It stops being useful very, very quickly. Especially when you get to the point in the game where you'll find treasure chests that are locked unless you use a specific element for the working stuff. So there's there are some treasure chests that you need a pal that does watering. There's one that needs a pal with electricity. There's one that needs a pal with fire, so on and so forth. So eventually you'll get to a point in the game where you only want to be carrying around the pals with those elements, so you can open up those treasure chests. So the game can quickly become you really need to pick the right team, not just for combat, but for exploration, since it's an open world game. And a lot of the pals with guns are in the early game. So if you're still traveling with them, by mid to late game, you're kind of handicapping yourself pretty heavily. I'm actually at the point in the game where I'm almost level 50. I still haven't even crafted a gun yet. I'm still using a bow. I just have not had a real necessity to make gun. It's very un-American of me. I need to correct that problem very soon, because it is not nearly American enough. I specifically need to get a shotgun. Is what I need. To be fair, it's mostly because I got very lucky and I found a legendary schematic for a bow. So I have a legendary compound bow that does so much damage that none of the guns are of any real worth to me yet. So, you know. It's both the upsides and downsides of good luck. Took a lot of resources to build that legendary bow, too. So I really want to get my value was worth out of it. It was something like 999 ingots, 600 something else, 600 of another thing. It was a lot of resources. It was very, very pricey to craft. I've almost reached the point in the game where you can start actively going after capturing humans. That's a very fun part of the game. It's annoying, but fun. I already captured one person, so I need to capture myself a black marketeer next. Capturing people doesn't work quite as well as it used to. For instance, they got rid of the bug that allows you to catch the bosses. They're replacing it with a system that allows you to complete side quests to get, at least so far, only one of the bosses. So at least they're, you know, trying. Though to be fair, I always felt the bugged way was more fun, but I don't think they got rid of the bugged way of doing it on purpose. I think it just happened in one of the updates. It just happened to get rid of the bug and like, oh, whoops. Here, we'll give you guys an official way to do it. I believe that's how it happened. I'm not entirely sure, but the current method for capturing people is to build the hanging trap that you get at the very beginning of the game as a buildable object. And you build it. They did change it so you can't build it right on top of the person anymore, which is annoying. But all you need to do is you put it in front of the person, build a wall around them, and then hit them, and they'll run into it and get caught anyway. And then while they're hanging in the trap, you just beat the crap out of them until they're hurt enough to start throwing legendary spheres at them to try to catch them. It is a very violent and exciting process because the second you try to attack them, it immediately starts summoning the guards, who will infinitely spawn all around you as they try to shoot you. So it's definitely a very chaotic situation. And you cannot have any of your pals out while you're doing it because they will just annihilate the NPC you're trying to capture. The real pals are the humans we captured along the way. It is pretty fun, although you can't really do anything with them. They are very weak in combat, and you cannot interact with them outside of your home base. It is pretty useful for quest givers, though. So if you go and capture the human that's a quest giver, you can just pull them out at the home base and go talk to them whenever you want for continuing the quest line. Makes the process a lot faster. Same thing goes for like the Black Marketeer and other merchants. You can just pull them out at your base and shop with them. I think. I haven't captured one yet, so I don't know if that's still something you can do. I would assume it is. They do have the official release coming up next year. 2026. It will finally be leaving early access. I'm excited to see what that will bring. I do kind of wish they would hurry up and finish Craftopia as well, but I get why. I get why they're focusing mostly on Palworld. It's a very popular game. Craftopia is more of a niche game. I've actually almost finished all of the achievements for Craftopia, so... And I've basically committed all of the big war crimes from Craftopia too, where you basically create infinite farms. It is a very evil looking thing when you create it. It's pretty funny. You basically put the animals in a position where they are constantly being literally smashed together to create new animals, which are then immediately dumped into a boiling pot to be turned into resources. It is... It's pretty horrific. There is another method to do... There's another way of doing it that's less brutal, but that way doesn't work nearly as well, so I don't use it that often. I have like the full giant farm. It like stretches out. It's so big, it stretches out into the ocean. I built it over the ocean so that there would be enough room I have one set up for horses, which is where I get them. It's supposed to be my money machine, but again, it's not exactly the greatest thing ever made. It doesn't work super well, and it requires a lot of... The reason why it doesn't work super well, so there's a machine called the breeding machine. Or something. I don't remember what the crap it's called. But you place the animal inside of it. It basically just bounces up and down and will drop whatever the drops are from the creature. So for horses, it's leather, carrots. Well, it creates the drops for their natural drops. So for like a cow, it will drop milk. Sheep will drop wool. Chickens will drop eggs. Horses drop carrots. Carrots sell for a lot of money. Here's the problem. In order for that machine to function, it requires food. You need to create a livestock feed. And there is no official way to automate the process of livestock feed. You literally have to break the game to get the livestock feed to work. So you have to find these bushes. They're the berry bushes. They're what you use for food at the very beginning of the game. You go to those, and you build this whole convoluted process around it, which will basically eternally chop it to break it, to drop the berries, and then immediately suck it into a machine, which will spin it around into this process of turning it into the livestock feed, feeding it to the machines that have the horses, who will continuously drop the carrots, which you then build a whole conveyor belt system to drop it into a marketplace to automatically sell it, so you're just automatically generating money. Here's the problem. The bushes are not designed to stick around when they're being harvested. They are designed to be chopped and disappear. There is no way to plant a berry bush. They can only be found in the wild, and they only have one life. So what you have to do is you have to build your whole process around the berry bush, and as it begins the process of chopping up the berry bush, you need to run as fast as you can to get as far away from the bush as it can, so that it tricks the game so that it does not break the bush. And then it tricks the game into thinking the bush is immortal. Eventually the game will figure out what you did, and it will correct the issue, and the bush will break. So is it a solid process? Absolutely not. Which is why you create the process that is breeding animals into boiling pots of soup and collecting the resources from that. So Craftopia has inadvertently created a process where the animal cruelty is the most effective method. And actually, rather, it's the only effective method. It's very funny. I like the game a lot. Is it super high quality? Absolutely not. But it's fun, and I like it. I've built all of these machines. So the way the breeding process works is it's this machine that has two springs on either side. You put an animal on one side, you put an animal on the other. It will push the springs together to smash the animals together, and then pull back and then smash them together, then pull back and smash them together over and over and over again. And every once in a while it'll drop out a new animal. Over time, this will kill the animals inside of the machine. So what you need to do is you need to go out and you find these little, they're called monos. They're like little slime monsters. The monos, there's a particular, they come in different colors, and the different colors have different effects. The green monos will heal particularly if you defeat one, it will explode in an AoE of healing. So I'm sure you can see where this is going. You place 2 monos in another breeding machine, smash them together, drop one of them into the pot, and as it explodes, it sends out an AoE of healing, which keeps the other animals that are getting smashed together alive for all eternity. And as the animals fall into the boiling pots, they die, and their resources get dropped into the pots. You put some stuff at the bottom of the pots that drops the resources onto conveyor belts that sends them into all this convoluted nonsense that sorts all of the resources, such as sending the meat products to be cooked into food and then sent to marketplaces to sell for money. Sending resources you want for crafting into chests for storage, and the resources you don't need into other marketplaces for selling. I have done this with horses, cows, sheep, chickens, and camels, and I'm working on ones for goblins. I don't know if it'll work, but I'm gonna try. And pigs. So the only thing pigs drop is food, so it's not that useful. But, and you know, it's on the list. I might as well do it. It is hilarious, but pure evil. You must become an evil, mad scientist to beat that game. It is really funny. And there's a reason why you need the money from the horse farm. Because you reach a point in the game where you need literal millions, I'm not joking, millions of gold to be able to level up your the age of evolution that you're at. So you start at like the Stone Age, and you have to gather specific resources and use those resources and money to level up to progress to a new age for the world, so you get access to different stuff that you can craft and whatnot, until you eventually like reach the Science Age and so on and so forth. I think there's like 9 ages total, and I'm at 7. I currently need like 2 million gold to get to level 8. So, yeah. For reference, your average monster will drop different types of coins, whether it's in pouches or regular coins, that will give you anywhere from 5 to 10, I think maybe at the most 20 gold when sold. So, yeah. It's not exactly... The humane methods are not exactly lucrative. So, if you want to get through the game, you gotta turn evil. I am genuinely shocked that more people don't know about Craftopia, because I'm shocked that PETA hasn't discovered the game's existence and had a fit over it. Because it is like the exact type of game PETA would hate. It is very funny. It's just extra funny to me because I feel like everybody knows about Pal World. I'm pretty sure we've long hit the point where everybody knows about Pal World. Craftopia was made by the same developers. They made it before Pal World. It's been in early access for a long time. Yeah, well, it might be too dark of a color. I kind of like the blue. Yeah, I think the blue flows a little bit better. We'll go with that. All right. Yeah, if you can't tell, I really like Craftopia. I've enjoyed the game. I get a little excited talking about it, but it's fun. I just wish I could get to the point where I could actually play these games that I enjoy with other people, because I play a lot of games that are meant to be played with other people, and I play them solo. Fallout 76, Squirreled Away, Craftopia, Pal World. I play a lot of multiplayer games by myself. Usually in a lot of those games, I'm kind of like I'm typically the kind of guy who will stick around at the home base, and I'll build the houses and I'll keep up the resources and I'll get stuff so other people can play the game and have fun. It's generally my kind of play style. What am I doing again? Right. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of playing with randos. I tried convincing Vivi a few times to play Fallout 76. Did not succeed. That's okay. She loves Fallout, but I don't think she's a big fan of Fallout 76. And I don't entirely blame her or anybody else for not liking it. It's a very different type of Fallout game. I actually don't really play Fallout 76 much anymore. They started doing a lot of updates with new stuff in the game that was just really annoying, and I didn't like it, so I eventually just lost interest. I think she was going to give it a try with somebody, but the collab didn't end up happening or something. I don't remember. It was a while ago. I just always offered the option that if she was going to try it out, I could let her try it out in my world, since I had the Fallout First thing at the time, so it would be a private server and whatnot, so she could just explore. And I could give her gear without her having to spend hours and hours building a base and getting gear and all that. I mean, the offer's always still open. Eh. It's basically how it is with pretty much all of those games. Like if a VTuber I know were to come to me and be like, "Hey, so I noticed you have a world in Pal World or Fallout 76 or whatever. would you mind if I played in that world and just explore the game? I'd be like, sure. It's totally fine by me. I don't even have to really be, I don't need to be there in any form of voice chat or anything. I literally can just exist. And just, it's totally fine by me. Maybe someday. I keep playing these games one of these days. Okay, so where we are at, we've got these pretty much set up. The VTuber game gotcha, that's a good way to put it. So what we need to do now is finish putting the titles and the clippers in there. Oh, I've realized my mistake here. There we go. I didn't make that mistake anywhere else, did I? It doesn't look like it. Okay, we're good. Well, the dog's finally ready to go back out. Wait. Oh no. I've just realized I've made a horrible error in creating this one. I'm gonna have to go back and fix that. Well, we'll do that another time. I'll worry about that later. Hold on, I gotta get the dog. One of the Tomoe clips apparently got put in twice instead of the one I wanted, and I guess I was rushing it so much I didn't realize what happened. It's either in there somewhere, or I don't know what I'm gonna do. I mean, we're still early enough in December that I could probably just pull it up and it'll be fine. I could take a look real quick. Let's say Tomoe videos, clips, top 30. Okay, I found this one, the determination one I found. I found that When I Say Jump one, and the based take one there. Alright, I gotta get the dog. Come on. Oh. She left the room for all of 10 seconds. Not really surprising there. Okay, I think I narrowed it down to what the clip probably was meant to be. So I can just grab this and then fix the problem later. Shouldn't be too big of an issue. And there it is. Let's see, it would have been clip number 3. Okay, yeah, so it was a mistake I made. I think probably what it was is the day I was getting all of the clips, Twitch was having this weird thing where I would click on a clip to open, and Twitch would open a different clip. Like the links were not going to the right clips, and I made that mistake on a couple of them, but I quickly noticed. I guess on this one I just didn't notice. It was the last one I was doing, so I probably just was rushing a bit too much to finish it. That's okay, it should be easily fixed. Just not something I can fix on stream. Not a problem. Then again, I might as well just finish the rest of it, right? Come on, there we go. That's what I wanted. I think one of the upsides is that I've noticed that a lot of bigger VTubers aren't really doing these monthly clip compilation videos anymore. So, we have hit a perfect market for me to come in and just start doing all of these. I actually do check, because if one of these bigger VTubers particularly already does those types of videos, I usually won't. I'll try not to do them for those VTubers, just so I don't step on their toes and their editor's toes. But people don't really make these anymore. Some VTubers still do yearly ones, which I can't really do. At least not in a provable sense. This is like best of. It's like, okay, but the way I do the best of videos is I actually go to Twitch and I grab the clips that are the most watched. So I'm not wrong in saying that they are, quote, the best or the top, because they're the most watched ones. Twitch, for whatever reason, had never put in a filter for yearly. You have past 24 hours, past 7 days, past 30 days, and all. It's like, hold on. I feel like the past year is a perfectly sensible measurement to look at. It doesn't make any sense why they wouldn't include past 12 months. Unless there's something about it that's stopping them from doing it, but I just can't think of anything. I wish Twitch would change that before they eventually implode under their own stupidity, so that I can make a few of those videos. That would be nice. Because otherwise, making yearly videos is way too much of a hassle. There's not really a solid trackable metric for the most watched clips, and you basically have to make a judgment call on what you think the best moments were. Which opens up a whole can of worms of opinions and disagreements. I feel like it's a sign of a good stream when I'm realizing I'm starting to lose my voice because I've been talking too much. It does say a lot about how weak my voice is. If I lose my voice after like 2.5 hours of sporadic talking, probably not great. To be fair, my throat has been giving me a lot of trouble this winter. It's been very dry for me. So like every day I run into this issue where I will wake up with a super sore throat. Not like crazy sore throat, but sore throat because my mouth and throat are super dry. And the process basically goes, I breathe in through my nose. My nose is too dry, So as I breathe in through my nose, it starts making my throat too dry, and then my throat gets too dry, which makes my nose too dry. Which makes my throat too dry, which makes my nose too dry. And it's a never-ending loop. It's not fun. But yeah, it's been a weird winter. My throat has just been crazy super dry this winter. I don't know why. The winter has only just begun, so I'm in for a fun time. Come on. Oh, crying out loud. There we go. Ooh, you're getting more snow? Cool. I have no idea if I'm going to be getting any more snow. It was raining all day yesterday. Maybe all day, I don't know. I only looked outside at like late at night. It rained pretty much all night, I know that much. Because it rained the entire time I was at work. Alright, 2 more of these, and then basically caught up on the general editing, just leaving the audio editing and censoring swear word parts of it. I'm trying to get a good amount done this week, as I won't be able to stream next week or the week after due to holiday stuff. Oh, that's where the problem is. I somehow skipped the first clip. Don't know how I ended up doing that. Oh. Like my computer. Yeah. My monitoring's off. Hold on. Okay, microphone, monitor off, monitor and output. There we go. My computer froze for a split second there. I still have yet to find the reason why my computer freezes. I've been trying, but I just can't find a solution to it. It's actually kind of a small miracle that we've made it this long without it completely freezing up on me. Maybe I need to kind of try to take it apart on the inside and really, because I do clean it. I try to clean it once a week. But maybe I need to do a bit more, do a bit of a deep clean, kind of take it apart from the inside, all the inside things apart a bit, and see if there's any dust that's kind of hiding away in places and causing issues on the outside. Because all of the fixes I've tried internally have not done squat so far. Aside from a full factory reset, I have yet to do a full factory reset. That is, I was making plans to do that, but then got caught up in projects and blah. Anyway. Okay. We are done with that. Just a couple fixes on this one to make, and then the audio, whatnot, editing, and then we'll be good to go. Oh. Yeah, it's fun. I should probably look into potentially getting a new PC at some point, because I think mine's old enough that if I wanted to upgrade anything, I would need to upgrade just about everything. So I might need to just get a whole new tower and just do it in a way where I can make sure I can upgrade it piece by piece. But we're at a point where that's going to be incredibly expensive because all of the prices for RAM and whatnot are through the roof. But, well, such is life. All right. I do believe I was going to raid Melkor because it is his birthday. He's doing a birthday stream playing Halo. Or birthday week stream? Anyway. Alright. Here we go. Hey, thanks for keeping me company while I was streaming. I appreciate it. Hope, thanks everybody for coming by. Hope you all had a good time. Thanks for hanging out with me. Hope you have fun over hanging out with Melkor as he's playing some Halo. And until next time, which will be, you know, the like last week or so of December, but whatever. Or actually, either the last week of December or the first week of January. Either way, till next time, hope you all have a good one, and I hope to see you all again another time. Bye-bye.